Hello, my name is Gabriel Martins, and the this past month has been by far one of the most incredible and informative experiences of my life. At this time, I'm back home. The noise has died down, and I'm walking less and less nowadays. But for some reason, my world doesn't seem so singular anymore. I also just wanted to show you something. So, one thing I've picked up recently has been journaling. I will tend to keep a logbook or just journal once a day. And when I had come to Italy, I knew I was going to journal. Maybe a sentence or two for every little weird thing that happens in my life. And let's see, in May, I started this in April. And before then, most of my days would only be 2 pages like these. And then, as I started traveling, more and more of my escapades and lessons in life started unraveling in this incredible cluster of life and emotions and feelings. The pages got longer, much longer. I think minimum I was writing about 10 pages a day. This one here, I started on June 1st, and it was finished by the end of June. I have my entire summer in this notebook, and even in the new one that I've started, it's still going. I think my last real day of this whole trip was the 28th. And I remember I was sitting on the plane, heading home after a month of life and experiences and food. And I realized that I was going back to the U.S. And realizing that I'm coming back to a very tumultuous time. But for some reason, after everything that I had done, it felt like my life was just starting. Back in the beginning of this, I said my world has become a lot less singular. Before, I had traveled to Brazil, since I am Brazilian and my family lives there, and Brazil had always seemed like a bookmark. It's something that's there, and there's this whole other world that I had only dreamed of seeing. And between Europe and between the US, there's a very big and wide ocean separating those two worlds. And when I was in the old world, my world became much larger. I changed the way that I thought about things. I wanted to live my life a lot slower. I wanted to go out. In every 10 steps, I wanted to smell those jasmines that are so strong in the middle of June, at least in Padova. I wanted to see the plants growing from the riverbed, and cascading and fading. And I wanted to see the sun shining off of the burnt orange facades of every building. And I wanted to walk on cobblestone streets that had started to be polished and shined after thousands of people and vehicles and cars, and even at points horses had been passing on it for hundreds of thousands of years. I mean, I think in the US we imagine our history starts in the 1600s, but it's weird to imagine how far history lasts in that world, and how far those traditions of history still impact the people who live there today. A lot of my days were reminding me to savor these moments, to savor every waking moment, every day when the sweat drenched my face and I had to wipe it off excessively because in Padua the hot air sits in the valley and is all often unforgiving even at the nighttime. I told myself, savor that. Because again, I'll never be this age again. I'll never be 24 in another country. I'll never be 24 walking over to the neighborhoods and having nights out with my friends underneath medieval gates. I'll never be 24 again and hopping on a train to a countryside of Italy and walking across an old abandoned trail just to see the sun set on the Po River. I'll never be 24 and going to Barcelona to visit one of my closest friends. I'll never be 24 again while I'm neck deep in the Mediterranean on a cove that I had to hike over a mountain just to see. But my God, it is a blessing that I was able to see that. So I don't know what else I can say. I think something that I've learned, and is something I've also heard a lot, is one of the greatest gifts in life is to move. Whether it's move across the world or move right across the street, there's an entire world out there. And it's been a blessing to be able to see one sliver of it. Again, it's an opportunity that a lot of people don't really have. And I'm beyond thankful for this. Thank you.